live. No theme song this time, though. Too much to flip around with.
We are live.
We're live, though. They can hear you.
Okay.
I hope.
Oh, there it is.
We'll have some people roll in, but...
Yeah, we'll have some people roll in. For sure.
Welcome to the Blazing Defender Report!
Very good. Yeah, that's good, Casey.
It's not bad. I gotta work on my impression of you. It's not quite up to snuff, but my my Charles is much better.
Lucky you.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. Yeah, hey, that looks good, man. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Blazing Defender Report. I'm a little bit under the weather. I've kind of had a cold, and my wife is like deathly ill with the flu. So
acute kryptonite poisoning.
Yeah,
in the Jones house.
Kryptonite. So I'm trying to save my voice. But welcome, guys. Glad everybody can make it. I see we got some people in the chat already. It's fantastic. I always love seeing guys in the chat. I want to welcome the Torch Wonder, Casey Strohs, TV's Casey from Breaking the Panel podcast. I want to thank him for being on the show today. What's up, Casey?
Always happy to be here to support my hero, Travis. You know it. Great week of books this week. You and I, just a couple hours ago, got out of seeing Black Panther.
Yep.
Which, super good. Just all in all, this is a happening week, man.
Yeah, it really is. I've been looking forward to this movie for months, like I know you have. I'm not going to say I was the biggest Black Panther fan coming into this, but I loved him in Civil War, so I was really excited to watch it today. We're going to talk about that a little bit. We're spoiler free because we know some people still haven't seen it yet. Totally understand. Don't want to ruin anything for you, but we will talk about some things we liked and didn't like. And we've got some great books. We had some really, really good books this week.
It's a
big week.
Well, we're talking like a $40 week.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, I try not to look at that. Like, I just tell him to stick the receipt in the bag. Don't even tell me. I don't even want to know.
You know what?
Yeah, it was a heavy bag.
You know what you got to do, and they do this with a lot of Magic the Gathering like trade shops. Is you go, and it's like, all right, but for $5 extra, we'll give you a receipt to tell your wife what you really paid here.
Oh my God, that is genius,
dude!
I need that.
Don't even need to put that on your tax forms at the end of the day.
I need that because. I always do this is my discount because the Zone Comic Shop on Hubbard's Lane is a sponsor of the show, and I get a pretty sweet deal with my comic books each week, which makes it really nice. But I still need that receipt. I still need that fake receipt for sure. Hey, Dennis Robinson. Dennis Robinson's in the chat, everybody. Everybody say hi to Dennis. Dennis is one of the creators and podcasters on Botch, the D&D podcast. Real quickly, guys, I do want to say that Casey and I both are proud members of the Giant Size Team Up Network. We've got some great shows on this network, Botch being one of them, Breaking the Panel, which Casey's a part of. And we have Toy Power, which is an Australian toy show. Is that right?
The accent's not right, but yes.
No, the accent's horrible. It's awful. I knew that coming in. But those guys have a really good podcast. And then we have a new one. Is that correct, Casey? Geek Versus?
We've got Geek Versus with Tony, Betty, and Casey from Earth B.
Oh, okay.
I'm assuming I'm the Casey of Earth A because I was the first on the network.
That's right. Yes, you do have seniority.
I also have more hair.
Yes. Now, have you listened to that podcast? Because I have not yet.
Yeah. Theirs is they do a nice little roundtable. They hit all the points. But one cool thing that they did in just a recent episode is that they all tackled a different topic.
Nice.
So they brought, it was not quite a blind discussion, but it was like there were 3 things to hit in the week. It was I think Altered Carbon, Devilman Crybaby, and maybe Cloverfield Paradox. I gotta double check. Because I listened to it fresh, and listen, we're busy guys, you and me. All right.
Yeah.
We can't keep our finger on the pulse of every damn thing in the network. Yeah, I'm right.
Golly, man, we try. We really do.
Hey, I got it right though. Yes, the latest episode of Geek Versus, you can hear them talk about the Cloverfield Paradox on Netflix, Altered Carbon also on Netflix, and Devilman Crybaby, an anime also on Netflix. So it's a Netflix-centered episode.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm going to have to check that out. I've been wanting to listen to it. I always try to listen to all the shows on the network.
You know what? It's good.
Is it good? I'm going to check it out. Botched is one of the ones I listen to every time they have an episode come out. That's one of my favorites, my personal favorites, even before they were on the network, which is kind of weird. But yeah, those guys.
I was a fan of you before I joined the network.
I know, ain't that crazy?
Right?
I know, that's awesome, man. Now you're on the show. It's fucking fantastic.
It's wild.
But yeah, man, we've got some great stuff. And one thing I want to announce before I forget, because Phil and Dennis of Botched really, really helped me out with this. I want to give them a huge thank you on the air. I'm launching my Patreon today, guys. So I think if you want to go check it out. Look at some of the rewards. You're going to get some access to me, some personal behind-the-scenes access to me, and you're going to help further the show along. And let me just say, this is my show. I kind of say what I want on this show. It's always going to be that way. I think that's the reason some of you watch. I don't get paid by anybody, so every thought, every opinion that I have is my own. It's nobody else's. I was very skeptical about having a Patreon. I didn't know how I felt about it, but there are a lot of things that I want to do with this show, and seeing the show go forward. There's a lot of things that I want to have more access to that I can bring to you live like I'm doing right now. I want the show to look good. I want it to sound good. I want to have great guests, and that all takes resources and money, and the Patreon's going to help me do that. And you helping me, you're going to get some access to me. You're going to get some say in the content of my show, which is a little bit different than what some podcasts do.
Make
some
this man read X-Men.
Yeah. Hey, there is a reward. You can look at all the rewards, but there is a reward where you get to pick the book. I go by the book, I review the book, and I give you a personal video on my review of the book. So check that out. And like I said, Phil and Dennis from Botched really helped me get that Patreon site going and looking good. There's a Discord chat room for Nothing But the Blazing Nation. You guys can get in the chat, and I'll pop in, and Casey will pop in, and we can talk comic books, just other times than when I'm doing the report. So, but check it out. Just wanted to say that. Check out the Patreon. Collector Zone, guys, go to Collector Zone Cantina on Facebook. You're going to get a discount. You're going to be in a group of other collectors. People are always posting things that they've gotten from Collector Zone that they found in stores, hard to find items. It's a really cool spot. And plus, the best thing about the Collector Zone Cantina on Facebook is you get one-on-one contact and communication with the owners of the business. Not a lot of toy retailers are going to do that. So it's a great part. I'm lucky to be a partner with Collector Zone. And guys, this is kind of like a Black Panther episode in a way, but there's a Black Panther giveaway. Okay, software like contest giveaway software. Casey, I don't know if you have any experience in this.
I got nothing.
Okay, it's different, and I was using Gleam. Gleam was hacked a few months ago, so I was kind of getting away from Gleam to do the giveaway on the Facebook page. And the site that I used, it was supposed to come up today. It did not. It's nowhere on my page. I looked for it. So, but I will have something up on the Black Panther Pop giveaway on the page tonight. I promise. So be checking the Blazing Defender Report page on Facebook. Enter to win. I'm giving away 2 Black Panther Pops, courtesy of Collector Zone. Killmonger, who is awesome in this movie, by the way, and Black Panther. Black Panther Pop, they're unmasked. They look really cool. They look great. So be checking out the Facebook page for that giveaway. Yeah, so speaking of Black Panther, me and Casey both came out of it today. Casey, spoiler free, what'd you think?
I gotta tell you, It's hit my top 5.
Really?
Oh yeah. Look, I mean, I don't got to speak for you, but
Right.
Catboys all
Yeah,
day.
we
We Catboys.
Yes.
So it's hard to take the first 3 Cap movies out of the list because Winter Soldier is often, people will say, objectively the best.
Yes.
Fine. I'm not going to argue with you.
Nope.
I personally think the first Captain America is just a perfect comic book movie. It nails his origin. It nails his character. It nails the villain. There's nothing in that movie that is like, I can't find a flaw. You know?
And it's a good period movie.
It's a great period movie.
Yeah.
And Civil War, I think, it's the biggest thing we've had so far. And if you find somebody who doesn't like that movie, get them out of my face, because forget it. It's super good. And the last one, for me, of course, is, or the fourth of a rotating top 5, is the first Avengers, which, again, the hype train building up, the final result proving that the shared universe could really work. Great stuff. Black Panther has knocked out, whether it be Ant-Man, Guardians, anything else I was feeling, really vibing on, is that 5th slot. Because, look, like you, and we may have discussed it on the show before, not really a personal cultural phenomenon kind of thing for me. We don't get that same representation. I'm glad it's there, but I'm not feeling what everybody else is saying about it,
Right.
But the character work in this, from everybody from Shuri to Killmonger to Forrest Whitaker to Panther himself, everybody in this movie gets a moment to shine, and they all get enough depth that makes you really care about it. And you know when that stuck to me?
When?
I walked out of the theater, and I watched this on 34th Street. In Manhattan. I went on a date. It was great.
Nice.
Oh yeah. Any date you could go on with a girl that's like, I really want to see Black Panther. Like, okay, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, that's a keeper. Yeah, for sure.
You know it. So we walk out of there and we get handed a bunch of these like sheets. All the producers want feedback on the movie, and they gave you out little pencils, and you can check all the boxes, right? So I'm going through it, and it's like, oh, what'd you like? Action, sci-fi, how it ties into everything, And it gave you all these options, and it said check all that apply. And I got to the bottom, and it's like, who's your favorite character? And it's got pretty much all the main people, like even a dude like Manape, who, if you told me a couple years ago when I was reading a Black Panther book for the first time, like, Manape is going to be cool in this movie, like, I'd tell you to go, like, get out of here.
Right.
Unbelievable. Right. But they had all of them listed. And, I mean, my choice was Killmonger. That's me.
Yes.
But the girl I was with chose Shuri in a heartbeat, and I couldn't blame her.
Oh, she's a very, very close second for me in this movie.
Yeah, an absolute winner.
Loved her.
An absolute winner. But then you're going to love this, the kicker. Once I looked at it again, at the top it says it's for ages 11 and under. They wanted a kid's perspective coming out of that movie, and I'm like diving in like real serious about it. But
oh, that's funny.
It's in a lot of ways, this, just like Captain America, it's a movie that perfectly captures the essence of all the characters involved. It expands the world. It doesn't miss a beat. There's no low moments. It's, I guess as much as you could say a perfect film. I can't find a flaw in it. I loved it from beginning to end, and I'm nowhere near as big a Panther fan as I am Cap.
Right. Yeah. I didn't love it as much as you did.
Okay.
And
that's fine.
But I agree. I agree with a lot of what you said. The cast is fantastic. I can't recall the actress's name that plays on The Walking Dead. Michonne. She plays the general of the Elijah Dore.
Yeah.
She's fantastic. Like you said, Shuri, I absolutely loved her. She was funny.
Straight up memeing in Wakanda.
Oh my God.
Wow.
I mean, she was great. I mean, like, I never thought that she would have been one of my favorite characters. And I'm not a Michael B. Jordan fan. I'm really not.
You keep saying that, and I'm like, how could this movie have not won you over? Right?
It did. And that's what I was about to say. I wasn't a fan of him coming into this, and the guy that I went with, he felt the same way about him. And I'm like, and that guy still feels the same way about him after this movie. I do not. Yeah. He won me over in this film. He looked fantastic. And
Walked right off the page, man.
He's actually, I think he's. Oh, I want to say
You can say he's the best Marvel villain that there is.
I'm not going to say he's the best Marvel villain because Loki is still the best Marvel villain. But he's definitely in my top 3. I like the Purple Man from Jessica Jones series.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking. Yeah, well, if you're going TV shows, I mean, Fisk is the top for me.
And then, D'Onofrio as Fisk. He was another great one.
Yeah.
But Michael B. Jordan does a fantastic job in this movie. But here's where the movie fell a little flat for me. And don't throw stones. Don't throw stones when I say this, guys. Poo, don't throw your poo at the screen. I know this is what you guys like to do to me. The car chase scene, some of the action stuff, I felt like we seen the car chase scene before in Civil War. Even the fact where the car flips and he jumps up in the air and lands on a car in front of him. I'm like, that was the exact same thing in Civil War, wasn't it? But they did add some things to it to make it a little bit different, but I still felt like it was a little lukewarm for me. And the fight scenes, like when he was having this is not a spoiler, but the ritualistic fight scenes, the contest.
For the throne of Wakanda.
Yeah, for the throne. Fantastic. I loved them because they basically, this is not a spoiler either, by the way, they take his powers away. So it's even fight, okay? And those look great. But then when B. Jordan or Killmonger and Panther have the suits and they're enhanced, the fights look the same.
Yeah.
And I felt like they shouldn't have been. I felt like they should have been amped up as they were in Civil War.
Brighter background, man, would have done it for me. You got 2 characters in black costumes. Put them in a bright background.
Yeah, I guess they felt like the purple and the gold
would have been enough.
They lighten up from the the kinetic force, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I just didn't want to rehash all the good things that Casey said about the movie because I feel the same way. I feel like it has a great story. I do not see this cultural revolution that people are talking about with the Panther. I don't see that, but maybe it's because I'm not black. I don't know. Maybe a black person's perspective would shine more light on that. But I went with a black guy, a guy I work on the fire department with, and I asked him, and he went, "They're saying that?" Like he looked at me and he goes, "Oh, that's what they're saying?" And I went, "That's what they're saying." He goes, "Nah, I didn't see it." So I don't know. Definitely a movie worth checking out. It's not my top 5.
But it's damn good.
It's damn good. It's damn good. But I feel like, do you feel like Black Panther was just a little bit not the star? Because like you said, all these characters get great moments to shine.
Takes away from the big man.
I think it took away from the big man a little bit.
You know what? But he had a complete story arc.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, everything with him wrapped up real nice, and I think he got a little bit of personal growth.
Okay, but what did you have a moment like in all the Cap films? I can pinpoint a scene where I was like, "Oh my god, that was awesome!" with Cap. Yeah. Maybe a couple scenes. Could you do that in this movie with Black Panther? I couldn't.
I can. Actually, I got 2, and you're gonna like this.
Okay.
So
cool.
Check it out. So you can ask anybody who I've ever talked to about this movie. They're like, "What do you think's gonna happen?" Like, we know Killmonger's in it, we know Manape's in it. What are you looking forward to seeing? And I said, "There's one thing I want to see, because it's something that separates Black Panther from anybody you think might be an imitator. He's not just a King Batman. This guy is connected to all the Black Panthers in his line." Like the Avatar, he can communicate he can spirit walk. He can communicate with
the astral projection.
Yeah, all the previous Panthers. And a buddy of mine was like, "There's no way they're putting that in the movie." He's like, "They're probably just gonna have a mention of the Panther god Bast, and that'll be enough." But they did it, and not only did they do it once, they did it 3 times.
3 times, yeah.
Yeah, even Michael B. Jordan got a spirit walk, which was awesome.
He did. Yeah,
it was cool, and that's a core part of the Panther that I really, really wanted to see.
Absolutely.
You knew you were going to get the herb and trial by combat and all that stuff, and the feeling of legacy. But the spirit walk, that was huge for me. The
Yeah.
moment that made me go, like, you're holy shit, like Captain America kind of
No,
moment.
no spoilers now. No spoilers.
All right. Just going to say the line.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Just going to say the line. Every breath you take is a mercy from me. You know the scene, okay?
Yeah, that was awesome.
So that is a line lifted right out of the comic books.
Right, it is.
It's from Jonathan Hickman's New Avengers, where after Namor floods Wakanda and kills maybe hundreds of thousands of people,
Yep.
Black Panther is sitting on this because he's forced to work with the guy for months because worlds are ending and there's bigger scope. And as soon as he gets the opportunity to take out Namor, he says it to his face and condemns him to die on an exploding planet.
Right.
Badass motherfucker, Black Panther. And the fact they used that, I jumped in my seat.
Yeah.
I jumped in my seat.
That was if I had a moment,
That would be it.
that was it. Yeah,
Okay.
for me too. Yeah, again, I just the fight scene that led up to that moment was just
Underwhelming.
flat for me.
That's fine.
If that had been like a fucking wicked ass fight scene, and then that line comes in, I'm like, oh my god, I just
Yeah.
came on myself. But it really wasn't like that. Yeah. Oh god, I'm sorry, dude. Sorry, guys in front. But yeah,
Splash Zone.
great movie. Go see it. Everybody should go check it out. And like I said, if Casey and I think are going to do another show about this.
Spoiler
with
laden,
spoilers.
so we could really dig.
Yeah, we can, because there are some plot moments that I was a little confused about, and not only was me, but the guy I was with was like, well, hey, what about that? And I went, yeah, I was thinking the exact same thing. So it may have been something I missed, but I don't know. I seem to always have some kind of a plot issue with any movie anymore. But very good movie. What would you give it, Casey, out of a 10 scale?
I'm giving this baby a hot 9.5.
Wow,
Hot 9.5, man.
Damn, really?
Oh yeah.
Shit.
Like I said, I couldn't find a flaw in it, but overall, I didn't enjoy it as some other films I've seen. I don't think it's better than Winter Soldier, but I think it's fantastic, and so if it's not perfect, it's going to be near perfect.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give it 9.5.
I'm gonna give it a 7.5.
Come on.
I'm giving it a 7.5, man.
That's low, son.
Like I said, I feel like I'm an action guy, and I like the action, and I don't know if it's, movies, especially movies like this, that you wait so long for, and you've got all this anticipation, and he was so awesome in Civil War. I felt like Panther was a bigger prime player in Civil War than he was his own movie.
It's
a
fair point, man. It's a fair
point. I can't shake that. But I love the world building. I love this deeper look into Wakanda. But what did you think? And again, no spoilers. What did you think about the post-credit scene?
Oh, perfect. I love the nickname. I love the nickname.
Yes, I did too.
So good.
I was like, yes. But you see, that's how big of a fan I am. That was one of my favorite scenes in the whole movie. Was the end credit scene because of who it had and the ramifications of it, and like a lot of people around me were a little confused.
Please don't tell me you had anybody who said, "Who's that?" Because some guy in the row behind me said that, and I was ready to turn around and slap a motherfucker.
Kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me right now?
Look, all right, Travis. First of all, don't tell me that you've been to one of these movies and you've seen people walk out before the credits.
They were doing it in this movie.
20 films, and they're still doing it.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
They're still doing it. But the guy I was with, who sees a lot of, he sees all the Marvel movies too. He goes, man, can you believe people leaving? And I said, I'm going to tell you what, this movie, above all other ones, is bringing in a larger number of a demographic that normally doesn't see these movies.
Yeah.
So some of these people that are leaving for the first time, there's a possibility, maybe even a good chance, that this is the first Marvel movie they have seen.
Okay.
And they don't know that you don't leave a Marvel movie. But there was even people leaving after there's kind of like two scenes. credits.
Well, there's
right?
always the fancy credits and then a scene, and then there's the boring credits and then another scene.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
So
Yeah,
Travis and I are jazzed about the second one. The first one has a good message to it, but it doesn't
Great
really.
message.
Amazing, and it's everything that this movie like really promised to deliver on in terms of maybe being a cultural phenomenon, but
Yes,
at least having
I agree.
having something to say, and not just being an action
And
movie.
you know what's even great? I don't want to spoil it, but you guys will see it.
Yeah.
What he was saying is how I sign off almost all my shows.
Yes.
Did you notice that?
A
I
little,
was like,
yeah.
oh my God. I told my wife, I said, his little scene at the end where
Charles
he's talking
riffing on me,
United-
wife. He's
I'm like-
riffing.
all hail the king, bitches.
Yeah.
You know, like I knew me and the Black Panther had more in common.
Let
I
me
knew
check.
it.
Let me check your lip. Are you a native born Wakandan? or what?
I'm not. Trust me. That's that, and that was wicked though. That was a cool. There was a lot of little cool
There's
things
a lot
like
of
that
cool
in this
stuff.
movie.
Listen, we can touch on it again later, but
Yeah, we will.
But
Yeah.
Overall, between the two of us, we're looking at like this movie is as close to an 8, a little over an 8 between us.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And now, and let's be fair. A 5 out of a 10 scale is a mediocre movie. Okay,
Yeah.
so if it's a 6 or a 7, it's a good movie. It's not. That's even though it's not an 8 or a 9 or a 10, of course, it's still a good score. I mean, that's a good score from me, actually. So yeah, you guys are going to like it. Curious to hear what you guys have to think about it. Hit me up. Let me know what you thought. But I want to. There's 2 more things I want to touch before we dive into the comics, just real quickly.
By all means.
Because I like to bring guys. I like to bring people up to speed on the show. Maybe touch on some things that you haven't heard about. Now, if you've seen the Venom trailer, this is something I wanted to ask you, Casey. Anyway, if you've seen the Venom trailer, which I've seen again today, you may have seen it too, Casey. I'm a huge Tom Hardy fan, so I was very excited when he was cast.
Yeah.
And then we get this trailer, and there's been a lot of negative feedback on this trailer.
Yeah, because it's a hot bowl of nothing.
It's a hot bowl of nothing. And so, but I guess this is what I want to ask you. Are we being a little unfair
No,
to the Venom? No.
absolutely
You say
not.
no.
You can never be unfair to a goddamn symbiote. You know how I feel about him. It's already a loaded question. No, but if I want to look, being fair, being objective, there's no substance to this trailer.
Right.
If you gave it to an average person who's like had no idea what it even means, there's nothing that tells you what this movie's about. If you went in blind, like, who's this guy? He's a man who's struggling with something, and there's people in his life, and there's cars, I guess. There's no indicator of a motivation, like, okay, he's got a personal demon, fine. He's not like Michael Douglas going postal or something, you know,
Right.
and falling down or whatever. There's nothing to it.
Right.
Like, I can understand if, like, you're going to do a big trailer of nothing, and then you have the symbiote come out, and then you've got the tongue whipping around or whatever, and you have, like, the thwip, like, the Spider-Man web noise at the end. You know, like, so people kind of, like, mentally associated if they already
Sure.
haven't.
Sure.
Just give them something. Like,
Yeah.
show this to a kid, like maybe a 10-year-old who's got no exposure to any of this, and ask him what he thinks it's about.
Right.
What are they going to tell?
Yeah. Yeah. No, that is a good point. And what was funny is the guy beside me who had not seen the trailer yet, he's like,
They're
is
making a
Spider-Man
Venom
in this? And I went, no, he's not. Or they're saying he's not.
Right.
And he was like, seriously? Well, who's he going to be fighting and what's he going to do? And I'm like, I don't know. I mean,
Good
like, we
time.
literally don't know anything about it. I think they got kind of caught in all these trailers were dropping for the Super Bowl. They wanted to have a dog in the fight, and I really wish they would have waited till they could have gave us, if nothing else, a half a second, nanosecond shot.
Flicker. Just a flicker.
Just a flicker. The CGI didn't have to be done. It could have been dark. It didn't have to be done yet to give us just a taste of what we were going to see. So, but in saying that, again, I'm a huge Tom Hardy fan. and I'm excited. I'm still excited for it. Where are you at on the excitometer?
I'm gonna see it, but I'm not gonna like it. Look, when you do a podcast like this, and we've mentioned this before, sometimes you gotta watch shit you don't want to watch.
Yeah.
Because people want to know your take.
Yes.
And I am very passionate. Look, I'm not a huge Spider-Man fan already. I like reading Spidey when he shows up in guest spots, team books, Avengers. You know, I don't think he's a very good Avenger, but I like his dynamic with the team.
Sure.
His Rogues Gallery is fun. His own books are pretty solid, but, you know, like you can attest, Amazing is just not a good enough book that it makes your stack every week.
Right.
You know, you hear, like, decent things, and, like, yeah, okay, Spider-Man's book is fine. It's got good art, it's got decent writing, but it's not for me.
Right.
Same thing goes for somebody like Venom. Like, Venom is a relic of the 90s. He's not a character that I think has as much pull as you could do with maybe another character in the Spider-Man universe. Right. You know, when they were talking about making a Sinister Six movie, would it have been garbage because the other two Amazing Spider-Man movies were garbage? Sure. But it would have been interesting to see, like, Kraven, Electro, Doc Ock, you know, Electro, Mysterio, all in one film.
Oh, man.
Right?
Oh, my God.
Like, the concept alone would get your ass in the seat.
Yeah.
But a Venom movie without Spider-Man? Like, what are you trying to sell me here?
Yeah. Now, I'm all for people taking chances. And we're going to talk about some comic books that kind of took some chances this week that I like. Captain America being one of them. And I like it when writers and studios, like, they took a chance making Logan. Okay? Logan was a low budget. They didn't give him a whole lot of money to do it.
They didn't do anything too fancy in it.
And they didn't do anything too fancy. It was just story-driven, character-driven drama with the action that they had was really, really good and spot on for that character. So I'm like, okay, make me like Venom. Make Venom relevant. Make him not a 90s relic.
Right.
And maybe that's how you do this, is you kind of take Venom out of the Spideyverse, so to speak, and put him somewhere else. I'm not saying could never come over, could never be a Venom in a Spider-Man movie.
Right.
I'm just saying some of these fans that are going to go see this movie are not even going to know who the fuck he is. There's going to be people that get drugged by their girlfriend because they have wet dreams about Tom Hardy. I'm in that boat. So I'm going to go.
Ooh, that's some competition, my friend.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
At least your wife's down with the Road Warrior.
Oh, yeah. Trust me, she don't care. She married me, so she obviously don't give a fuck. But yeah, so okay, yeah, you know, we're gonna go check it out, and we're gonna talk about it on here, and we'll revisit this and go, remember when we said, and be like, yep, you were right, Casey. All right, let's get to the comic books this week.
What's at the top of your stack? Not your book of the week, but what's just right on top? Let's do it.
Look, right on top is Dark Knight's Rising.
Let's hit it. Boom.
The Wild Hunt.
The Wild Hunt.
Did you read it?
I did. But
holy crap!
Give me your hot take first.
No, have you been reading the metal?
Yes.
The metal books. You have.
It's the only thing from DC I'm reading right now.
Okay.
Oh, good, and Doomsday Clock.
Okay, yes.
I have to dial myself back there.
We kind of put Doomsday Clock on its own pedestal.
Yeah, it's
way up there, buddy. It's way up on everybody's stack. All right, well, I'm gonna let you go first then, because I'm curious to see what you say. So
right, so this is cool. It starts out giving you a kind of origin for Detective Chimp. Who's a neat character that showed up in a couple of things like, what do I know him from? Shadow Pact? He was in Shadow Pact. I think he showed up a little bit in Justice League Dark.
Yes.
But he's very much on the side of...
Constantine.
Constantine, Dr. Fate, Zatanna, like, the magic side of things. Even though he's very much just like a pretty typical detective who also happens to be a monkey. The story ends up picking up. We've got, oh my god, I'm like at a failure today. The whole alliance of Dark Batmen.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The Dark Knights, yeah.
The Dark Knights, yeah. Duh. Why do they call it? So I'm really off today. And his Crows, of course, who are the funnest take on Robin I've ever seen. They've got the Metal Men, Red Tornado locked up on the island.
Yep.
Things are coming together fast. And I gotta tell you, a little surprised that this isn't the main in the main numbering.
Yes.
Because it's got everybody in it. We got plot, we got development going on.
Yes.
Right? It's not like just a fun little side story like we got with the other ones.
Could you imagine reading Metal, the main,
and
not reading this issue?
Right.
You'd be like, what the fuck is going on?
They jump into the bleed.
I know.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Who did the art on this? Because I glazed over the cover and I didn't pick it out immediately, and it's killing me because it's super good. Who we get? Oh, it's a bunch of people. Porter, Jorge Jimenez, Doug Monk.
There's 3 writers.
And Mendoza. Yeah, I don't want to say. Listen, I'll be the last person to knock Batman on this show because
Right.
I know he's your boy.
It's heresy, damn it.
I think they decided to pull a huge page out of Avengers for this because Avengers, as you and I both know, is killing it with that 3-man writing team. And look, this book really delivers. You know, just art, writing, everything. It's the whole Moxie. The only gripe I have is that you absolutely can't appreciate it without having read everything before.
Yeah,
because you're walking in on a chessboard where the pieces are already in place.
Right. Right. Exactly. Yeah. For somebody new to try to pick up this book and jump in, you're fucked. You're absolutely fucked. I hope you like the pretty pages because there are a few, even though there's some. I think there's 3 different artists on this as well.
Yeah, but in the middle, all the like the Raven stuff when Raven's fighting Dawnbreaker and all that, the panel layouts are all like crooked and jagged and it's easy to read, but it's very interesting to look at.
Yeah, it is.
I'm super digging it.
The only thing I didn't like, well, not the only thing, when you have different artists and different writers on the same book. It seems like one writer's take starts to dominate the others, and I felt like Grant Morrison's take on this story kind of dominated it a little bit. It wasn't smooth to me. I did like. I don't get really caught up into transitions of artists. Like when you got one art from one guy and then the next artist's style is vastly different and you turn the page and you're like, whoa, what the hell?
Yeah.
That really doesn't bother me too much because good is good and crap is crap.
It's also not that jarring in this book.
No, it's not. I thought the transitions were fine.
Yeah.
And like I said, all 3 of these artists are good. So it's not like you have a Jim Lee art and then Salvador LaRocca art. You know what I mean? It's nothing like that.
No.
But it's the con to me was I had been following this, and I was still like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
And I had to go back and reread some stuff just to follow along. And then let me just say this: in all honesty, Scott Snyder is writing a very how can I say this?
Grant Morrison style book.
yeah, right. Well, it's very.
It's big in scope.
It's big in scope,
and it's way too many players in it.
Holy crap! You've got so much stuff going on.
You need the who's who of the DC universe to figure out what's going on.
But I dig that because, like, you know, people may reread this and go, this Detective Chimp, man, that's pretty cool shit, and go back and find some stuff that Detective Chimp has done.
Yeah.
Scott Snyder has broken the playground with this whole Metal series. I mean, he's done a lot of that. He's brought some people, the Dreamer, which we haven't seen in probably 30, 40 years.
Just plucking out of an old issue of Detective or Action, he'll just grab them. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, he'll just grab them, which is really cool. And me and Big Sam that I do Meet Heads on Movies with, we went to a panel with Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo, and a lot of it was Metal. And he was
you mean friends of the show?
Friends of the show. Excuse me. Friends of the show, Greg Capullo and Scott Snyder. Yeah, cool dudes, man. Really cool dudes. But he was Scott Snyder was talking about how editorial fucking hates them because he's pulling some people out of just nowhere and bringing them into this book, and they're like, whoa, wait a minute. Like, he's really making editorial's job hard on them. But Snyder is at the point at DC to where he basically do what the fuck he wants to do, which is really nice.
He's the new Jeff Johns.
He is the new. Yes, there you go. Very good.
He's the head honcho writer in the chair. But you know what? If I was Snyder, what I would say to them: you guys remember a little story you did in 1986 called Crisis on Infinite Earths? Yeah. How many characters are in that? What kind of an editorial nightmare was that? Fucking suck it up. Okay?
Suck it up.
You guys
and that's
are
basically what he said.
Yeah.
He was like, "This is their job." He goes, "I don't, I get a kick out when we get notes back on our scripts from editorial, like wanting clarification on stuff." He goes, "I giggle every time I get one. If I don't get 3 or 4 a script, I'm a little upset with myself, like I didn't do my job." So we thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But Snyder, it's a big story. I wouldn't recommend it to everybody, even though this is probably the most courageous story ever told about the Dark Knight, and it's more like a Justice League story. Don't you think?
It's Batman saves the Justice League from himself.
Right, from himself.
In a very different way than something like Ra's al Ghul discovering his plans, to take him out, and in like Tower of Babel or whatever. Right. This is Batman. You see him at his best, and you see him at what could be his worst.
Right.
6 times.
Yes, and I've enjoyed all the origin stories of the Dark Knights, which is a pretty big feat when you're talking about this many characters. And they've only had one issue to give us an origin story. They were all really, really good, I thought. So
not a dull one in the like. I thought like the Cyborg one was gonna be like, but it was good.
It was good. It was good. Yeah. Death Machine. Give me a score, 1 out of 10.
Oh well, hold on. Before I give it a score, let's just say the stuff they do with Red Death in this issue, must read.
Yeah,
must read.
I'm wondering. Yeah, I'm wondering what this is going to do later. Like, there's going to be some ramifications because there's one issue left of the main. So issue 6 is going to be the culmination of the metal of the story.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see what happens with Red Death and this reversal. I guess I don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah. But There's a lot of high concept stuff. Look, so my score, I'm giving it a 7.5.
Okay.
High quality book, great writing, great art. If you're already reading the story, it's a great addition. I'm a little upset that it's not the main title.
Yeah, me too.
It has every reason to be. And didn't they already not delayed it? I mean, delayed it, but didn't they add another issue to the tail end of it?
I don't know if they added another issue. I want to say it was always 6.
Okay. Either way,
but if they did, that's probably what this would be. Yeah. I see what you're saying. That's kind of the reasons I knocked it down a little bit.
Yeah.
I gave it a 6.5.
Okay. Yeah. 7.5. So,
yeah.
6.5, 7.5. Pretty close.
Pretty good.
I just got an issue with it not being new reader accessible. I feel like every comic you should be able to jump in and enjoy.
Yes.
Like you walk into a store, you plop down what is this, $5? $4.99?
Yeah, I think it was. Let me see.
It's a big boy. It's 34 pages of content, something?
$4.99, yep.
$4.99. That's not cheap.
Nope. No.
That's not cheap. So if you're dropping $5 on a comic, you should get your money's worth. And
you should get your money's worth.
This is in no way an entry level book.
What's next on your list?
I got it. Pick anything. You want to save Star Wars for later? Or you want to do it now?
Do it now.
All right, I'll do it now. How about let's get some Thrawn going.
Let's do it.
Let's get some Thrawn. Oh wait, hold on, that didn't work. Whoops, I'm goofing up. There we go. All right, Thrawn. Now,
I was pretty excited when I heard this was coming out.
Oh yeah.
But this is what I was immediately disappointed about.
Uh-oh.
I thought this was going to be original.
Oh, no. It's an adaptation of the book.
It's an adaptation from the 2017 Thrawn novel by Timothy Zahn, which I did read.
Yep.
And this is a pretty close adaptation.
Yeah, the dialogue there.
It's almost exactly.
It's lifted right from
it.
Yeah.
The story is a great story. It's Thrawn's origin story. If you're a Star Wars fan and you're not familiar with this cat, you need to be, because I still say we will see Thrawn on the big screen somewhere, somehow down the line.
Hoping.
Yeah, we're praying.
Hoping.
He's a fantastic character, and if you're not aware of him, this is a great jumping on point. If you don't want to read a novel, this is perfect.
Because Thrawn was huge in the old expanded universe, and this is his introduction into the current continuity,
the current canon.
Yes. So everything you need to know about him, right here.
Right here. Yeah.
Well, right there in the book, and then now right here in serialized comic book format.
The only con I have with this book really is the art. The art is pretty lifeless.
Wow.
I didn't like it. I didn't like the art at all.
I felt I could not be more on the other side of that fence.
Really?
Oh yeah. Look, I've never been like a huge Luke Ross guy. My only real exposure to him was he did a couple of fill-ins on Dark Avengers, in between the Deodato issues, and it like kind of worked for the tone of the book.
Yeah.
But here, I think the way that he draws Thrawn's face is very striking. I think the emotions that he puts in other characters, whether it's other cadets, whether it's Cadet Vanto, whether it's Palpatine himself, I think he does a pretty good job. The book is overall easy to read. There's no muddling, I think it's very striking. I can see maybe it's not everybody's cup of tea. Like, this isn't what I would consider grade A art, but I would say it's serviceable, and it definitely fits the tone of the book.
I agree. No, it's serviceable. I'm just not a fan.
Yeah.
I'm a big art guy. And on these Star Wars books...
we wouldn't be reading these things if we weren't.
Right. Exactly. And in these Star Wars books, man, I don't know. I want Sean Murphy, Jermaine Pena. I want all the
Sean
top
Murphy
guys.
Every book.
So yeah, it's serviceable. It just, I don't know, as I was turning the pages, but let me preface that by saying I did read the novel. I knew what was coming up.
Right.
So it's kind of like a rehash of something I've already read. But if there had been better artwork, like more dynamic, and that's where I feel like they dropped the ball here, because
they had
in a novel you don't get any artwork, right? So you're in your head. Here they could have really took some liberties and gave us something fucking spectacular. And let me tell you, I've become spoiled lately. If I don't get a fucking splash page that gives me an erection in a comic book nowadays, I'm
done.
It's done. It's out of the pile. It's like, are you kidding me? No, I didn't get a splash page here. I didn't get a full page of anything.
Nothing.
I know
there's not one in this book.
There's what?
There's not a splash page in this book.
No, there's not. There's not a full page. I mean, you've got it's not like most of the pages are 9 panels. Yeah. That's just too many panels.
Well, I mean, look, it's based on a book, man. It's like reading Watchmen. Right. It's like reading Watchmen.
No, I get it, and I may, like I said, I may be being critical because I've already read the novel.
Right.
But I would still recommend this for anybody that has not read the novel. Highly, if you're a Star Wars fan, recommend this. And it's $2.99. All right.
No,
$4.99.
No, it's not, because it's like 30 pages.
Shit
it's
balls.
They're doing these big issues, and I'm glad, but you know what? Throwing another $1 on there.
I know.
Come on.
I didn't even realize that, man. Now I'm looking at it. But it is hefty. It's a thick book, like you said.
It's also got like not your regular comic book cover. It's like the better like cardstock kind of feel, right?
Yeah.
So it's like it's almost like a premium kind of comic.
That's a good point. That is a good point. Which, motherfucker, it should be for $4.99.
Yeah, like
let's be honest.
I've read, Travis and I read pretty much between the two of us all the Star Wars.
Yeah.
I'm not reading the main book, but I read pretty much everything else.
Yeah, I read the main book.
Yeah, and I've read the like 6-issue adaptations of Force Awakens and Rogue One, and they haven't done one for Last Jedi yet, but it's coming.
Yeah, sure.
So the adaptations are all pretty good, but it doesn't have the same feel as watching the movie. So I can't. Those are the only Star Wars comics I can't recommend.
Right.
But
absolutely.
But this, I think, either you've read the novel and maybe you want a little, you're really into the comics and you really want to see how it's done visually, fine. But if you haven't read the novel, pick this up. If you're not planning on reading the novel, this is really cool.
Give you a score.
I'm giving this one an 8.
An 8?
Yeah.
7.5. I give it a 7.5. I'm glad I didn't know it was $5 when I gave that ranking because I might have knocked it down.
Yeah. Listen,
being $5.
Travis and I kid around, but prices in comic books are really a make or break kind of deal.
Absolutely.
Because you got to buy this. First, you're getting the stuff that you love, right? And then once you get all that, if you're out of money, you're not getting those books that you'd normally take a chance on.
Yes.
And we got one of those this week.
Yes.
We sure do.
Yes. Yeah, we sure do. I'm excited because I feel like some of my listeners, if there's Batman or Cap or Doomsday Clock in my stack that week, well, I know what the pick of the week's going to be.
You're already at $15 too.
Exactly.
Those are all huge books.
They're all huge books. Yeah, and especially you throw in an event book like Metal.
Oh my god!
You're up there. You and I talked. It was like close to a $40 week.
Yeah.
So that's too much. I remember when I first started doing the show, I was trying to do the first $20. Yeah. Like if you're gonna go to a comic shop, this is what your first $20 needs to be on.
Yeah.
Well, then it got to be crap.
Because you're getting 3 books.
I'm getting 3 books. I got a 10-minute show now. What the fuck?
Yeah.
So I had to get away from that style of content. But I really wish that I could take more chances. Which in the Patreon, now that's kind of a nice segue. In the Patreon, one of the reward sections may allow me to do that. And I really want to be able to do that. Right. So think about that when you're looking at those Patreon rewards.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I got one more thing just to say about prices. Don't ever really feel discouraged about prices in comic books because even if you don't get them week to week, which is fine, and sometimes it can be rough with delays and stuff like that, the trade paperback market is always the best it will ever be. They are on top of that. You get you get a complete story in one book. You can put it in a shelf. You don't have to worry about, the condition of it, having to seal it up. Like, how many long boxes you got in your house, Travis? Like, come on, forget it.
I have a small room right to the right of me right now that probably has 60 to 75 long boxes in it. They're from the floor to the ceiling.
Thousands of comic books.
Thousands.
How much space do they take up?
Oh, too much.
Whole room.
Ask my wife. Yeah. Way too much space.
So, look into trade paperbacks, maybe look into digital sales, Comixology.
Yeah. Sure.
They do, you can get Dark Horse comics for, pennies on the dollar.
Right.
So there's always ways around it if you're willing to wait a little bit. And these days we wait for things like video games, things to come out on DVD. So just treat comic books the same way. Anyway, let's move on. Next one.
We'll move on real quick. I've kind of neglected the chat some, and I'm just now looking over and seeing some of it. Andrew said Thrawn wasn't in the movies. No, he's not been in the movies. He's on the cartoon show, the Clone Wars. Oh no, the Rebels. I think Star Wars Rebels. Mm-hmm. But no, Thrawn hasn't been in the movies. But Casey and I had said when we first started talking about this book, I feel like he will be.
He's got
to be because you can only have so many Sith bad guys in a movie, like in a series. And with the way Disney's going to do the Star Wars movies coming from here on out, it looks like we're going to get some type of Star Wars movie, whether it be a prequel, solo type movie or something, once a year. They're really, really going to flood us with some content in the next 10 years, I think, of Star Wars of stuff. So Thrawn, I don't know who his adversary would be. It could be anybody, really. A good writer could take Thrawn and put him in almost any situation. It's going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
So Jason Jones has said the Thrawn trilogy is the only EU fiction you need to read. So the Thrawn trilogy, I do believe there's one book of that I have not read yet.
There's Heir to the Empire, Dark Force Rising, and The Last Command are the big 3.
The Last Command, I think, is the one I have not read.
Oh, that's the last one, buddy.
I know it.
Yeah.
I just now remembered that there was one I haven't read yet,
Hey,
so I need to read that.
let me throw this one at you.
Sure.
Back in the day when Dark Horse still had the license,
Yes,
they did a 6-issue adaptation of it.
they did, didn't they? That's
you
right.
can-
I remember that.
So you can cheat yourself not having to read a big book. Just
There
hit
you
it.
go. See, look,
I think
we're
it's got,
solving world
you know what?
problems
You know
on the
the crazy
show.
thing? I think it's got Dodson art. Terry Dodson.
Really?
You don't like him?
I do.
Oh yeah, I think it's he definily did one of them. I don't know if he did the last one, but he definitely did one of them. So might be a little tempted. I'll hook you up, son. I'll hook you
I
up.
might, I'm gonna write that down. As a matter of fact, because I'm gonna check that out.
All right.
What's next on your stack? Oh no, it's my turn.
Yeah.
We're gonna stay in the Star Wars universe.
Oh, I know what's coming, baby.
You know what's coming.
The big bad.
The big
The
bad.
baddest of the bad.
The baddest of the bad, and he's bad, motherfucker. In this one,
Darth
Vader, number 11.
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's a good one.
As always, by Sewell and Kamenkoli. Or Soul. Charles Soule.
Charles Soule, yeah, Charles Soule. I tell you what, man, he's killing it. He's killing it on this book. There is, for those of you who don't know, Vader is in charge of the Sith Inquisitors now. And he's basically been given this by Palpatine to do what you want, hunt the Jedi down. But there is, I don't want to say a power struggle, but Vader doesn't trust them, basically.
It's not the Sith way to trust people, man. They're
No.
gunning for his job.
It's really, really not. But how awesome was the Ninth Sister?
Vader gets into a big bar fight in this issue when he's trying to
so
track down
fun.
a Jedi. And there's an ion pulse that happens inside, and he radios... His lightsaber gets busted. So he radios into the Ninth Sister, and she's just like, oh, geez, my radio is breaking. Couldn't hear you, Vader, sorry. And she just... That moment's great, but what seals
great.
it for me is she spits.
Yes.
It's like the ultimate fuck you.
Like, fuck you, man.
Yeah.
Well, I heard Vader have words before he goes into the bar.
Yeah.
Like, Vader, it's Vader. He's not warm and fuzzy. He's not politically correct, and he's pisses everybody off.
He's also swinging his big lightsaber around and be like, hang back, I got this.
I got this.
Yeah.
You wait here. Yeah. So, but this issue, even though the bar fight is fantastic, the interaction between Vader and the Ninth Sister was the highlight of the book for me.
Big time.
But Vader's is set up. Okay, he was set up to go in this bar, and there's a group of bounty hunters that are trying to take him out.
And they are pretty well equipped, all things considered.
Yes. It's almost like they've taken out Jedi or somebody, people like this before, and they're a family, which is like a family of bounty hunters, right?
Yeah.
It's like the Partridge Family of bounty hunters. And Vader is like they're shooting Vader down. Vader doesn't have his lightsaber, as Casey said. It's been broken, destroyed, and Vader is tossing patrons of the bar into the bolts. And the bounty hunters are like, holy shit.
We picked the wrong guy.
Who is this guy that we've been tasked to bring down?
It's just clobbering time. But he eventually he goes out and he tries I guess in as much Vader is going to shake down somebody, like, he'll kill a motherfucker. That's what he does.
Oh, that's what he does.
But he spares the Ninth Sister and he takes her cool spinning lightsaber.
That was awesome.
Which I still love. And he hops on a speeder bike and goes full, like, hot pursuit on this family.
Yeah, and what's cool is you don't see that in comic books a lot. Like, you don't see car chase scenes in comic books a lot. It's a movie thing, right?
Yeah, you'll have them maybe running after each other. Or...
Casey, I don't know if you could find it, but there's a shot, and it's not like the best shot ever.
I got it in front of me.
You got it?
Yeah.
Because of him on the speeder bike?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just so cool looking.
The one where it's all red, right?
Yes.
With the red, okay. Yeah, I got it. Just keep talking about it. I'll pull it up.
Well, yeah, like in the art of this book, Kamenkoli.
Yeah.
Kamenkoli, it's good. It's the only problem I have with Kamenkoli is, like, he didn't do the cover. Like, what you're looking at now is the cover.
Yeah.
See how Vader's armor's, like, angular? It looks like armor, right? Kamikoli kind of rounds off Vader's armor, and it just kind of bothers me a little bit. But like
it should be a little sharper.
It should be sharper, yes. But his action scenes are fantastic.
Look at those speed lines.
Yeah. Dude, Vader is one of the books I get very excited about every month it comes out. When I see it on the shelves, I'm like, yes, Vader.
Yeah.
Because it's just a book that doesn't disappoint me. And you want to know the kicker on that?
What?
It is $3.99. So
good.
Not a bad price. It's not $2.99, which I really wish it was. That would make it just a must-buy book. Yeah, look at that. I seen the graphic pop up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Vader, it's his armor just, I don't know. It's something that he does with the armor, and I haven't quite figured it out. I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess it, like Casey said, it needs to be a little bit sharper. But I mean, him on that speeder bike, and he's like turning, and they're firing blaster bolts, and he's taking the Inquisitor's saber and kind of knocking them out. I mean, it's just fantastic. It's great action.
He drives him into like, I guess the Star Wars equivalent of a family RV. They slam into it and they're like pulling themselves out of the rubble, and he hustles them down, and he's like, "Who set me up?" And they're like, "Somebody on Coruscant really hates you."
Right.
And
yeah. The end is a big reveal.
Where's it coming from, Travis?
What's that?
The top.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It came from the top. Like, so you can probably figure out who it was, and Vader's taken back.
Yeah.
He's like, who?
Curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal.
I know, man. It's so good. This book is just always good.
Yeah.
What will you score it?
I'm giving it an 8.
That's what I gave it.
Great
minds.
Yeah, see?
Great minds.
Listen, it's not a perfect book. We got some art gripes, but it delivers every issue. You think
delivers every issue.
Maybe
and the art gripe from my angle, from my standpoint,
very minor.
Very minor.
Yeah.
Very minor.
Because the action's good.
Oh, great action.
Yeah.
And he draws great action.
Yeah.
And it gives us this book. The best thing about this book is it gives us the Vader that we never got in the movies. Casey and I have discussed this before with Rogue One. When people talk about the last 5 minutes of Rogue One, oh my God, that was the best part, and it's one of my favorite scenes in any movie. And I'm like, yeah, that was awesome. I enjoyed the shit out of that too. But guess what? I've been reading Vader for the last 3 years in Marvel Comics.
And that's what he's doing.
And that's what he's doing every month. He's fucking people up, man.
Yeah. And this wasn't something that was always limited to Marvel. Every time Dark Horse put out a Vader book, it was him either tearing ass through Jedi during the Purge, tearing through people, his own stormtroopers, one time a clone of Darth Maul. Like, this dude was always getting into these huge scraps.
Yeah.
And coming out like listen, he didn't always make it out unscathed, but he came through like a champ. You bet if he won that fight, he killed the shit out of whatever he was fighting.
Yeah. Yeah, he always gets a high body count, man. I love it. He's one of my favorites.
That's why he's the most famous villain of all time, Trav.
I agree.
Yeah.
All right, what else you got?
Yeah, we jumping ship to Marvel? What do you think?
Sure.
All right, man. Let's do some Avengers.
Let's do it.
I'm feeling it. Let me change that graphic real quick though. All right. Boom! Avengers No Surrender, the latest issue, which is
Part 6.
Part 6, number 680. The story so far. The Grandmaster and the former Grandmaster, the Challenger, who we got a totally sick look at last month.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Or, no, last week.
I'm
crazy. Yeah. Oh, by the way, Avengers is coming out every week, so you don't have to wait at all to miss a beat. You know? There's a veritable contest of champions going on where Grandmaster's got his team, Challenger's got his team, and now the Avengers are their own team caught up in the balance of everything. They've got a mysterious teammate that longtime readers of Avengers have never seen before in the Voyager, but apparently she's been there all along, and everybody's getting hip to, what she's sending out. For me, what absolutely has been selling this book every month, other than the great writing and the great art on it, it's not Larraz this month or last month. It's Jacinto. Kim Jacinto.
Yes, Jacinto.
Yeah. Great art still. Not as good as Larraz, because Larraz was
killing it.
He was destroying these books with how amazing his art was.
Good.
Still good art, so you don't have to worry about that. But, look, Rogue is in charge. She has always been my favorite X-Man, and she's been a part of the Avengers Unity division for a couple of years now. And I've loved reading her in an Avengers book more than I ever have in either her own solo book, in Uncanny, you name it.
Yes.
It's just taken like a bold new direction for her. But it's also not just her that's great. You get good stuff from Wonder Man in this issue, which I never would have expected.
The Wonder Man Beast reunion was, I don't know why I got so excited.
Every time they get together, it's always a big hug, and Beast is like, Simon, Beast and the Wonder Man together again.
No, I love it.
Oh, they're like, there's a lot of bromances in the Avengers. Like, Cap and Hawkeye going on assignment, Cap and the Winter Soldier hanging out, Hawkeye and Black Widow hanging out. Like, there's all these great, like, two-man team-ups, but the only two to me that feel like brothers is Beast and Wonder Man.
Yeah.
There's a panel.
They just have a chemistry.
He gives him a hug and he lifts him up off the ground.
Yeah.
And Wonder Man's like no small dude. Like, the Beast is huge, but Wonder Man is like 6'2", like 250 pounds of ionic muscle here. Yeah. And Beast is just like, I got my boy. You know? But as fun as that is, it leads to sort of a darker turn, because Jarvis, who is in the comics not a robot, he's a British guy, a British butler. He's the Avengers Alfred, if you will.
Yes.
And in every way, just like Alfred is kind of the heart of the Bat family, Jarvis is the heart of the Avengers. Everybody loves this guy. He's been there through thick and thin when the team's disbanded, when they were all thought dead. Jarvis has always been there in the clutch. And he got hurt at the start of the story, and they're trying to figure out what's wrong with him. And it turns out he might not make it out of this.
Yeah, he might not. And it looks like he's suffering from years of being exposed to the Avengers.
Yeah. Alien stuff.
Kind of cool.
Radiation.
Yeah.
Things no normal human could basically withstand.
Right.
You know, Jarvis isn't a guy who trains every day and is out there like Hawkeye. He doesn't have a super soldier serum, no suit of armor to protect him. He is an unassuming everyman in his 60s, you know? It's going to wear down on him more than anybody else. And it's rough. Yeah, it's rough.
This, for a weekly book to give you this type of quality is, I don't know if I've seen it, to be honest. I can't remember the last time a book came out once a week that was this good as far as story and art. Even though Kim Jacinto is not as good as Larraz, it's still good.
Oh yeah.
If you want, Casey, look at the interiors and pull up something that can give the.
I know what page I'm putting up.
The first page is really good. I think.
Nah, dog.
You got it.
I got it. I'm putting up one, and you can be like, oh, all right. We can just lead into it. The fight scene at the end where the Avengers are taking on the Black Order, and Rogue steps up to the plate, and the gloves are off.
Oh, yeah. This is a fantastic. This is a good panel.
Now, for those of you who maybe don't know what Rogue's deal is, she's super strong, super fast, super invulnerable. Basically, your flying brick, Superman kind of style powers. But she can also take powers away because she's got this vampiric touch that just comes in contact with her skin. And she's facing down Corvus Glaive, who's like the big head cheese, basically in his own way unkillable because of his staff. Yeah. So check this out. She takes the glove off, just grabs him by the face, sucks the power right out of him, and puts a hole in his goddamn chest with her fist. That is just, oh my god.
It was, and I'll be honest, I was a little.
Come on.
I feel like this is a breather issue. Like,
how could it be?
Okay,
it's clobbering time.
Yeah, that is that. When she grabs his face,
Come
even like
on.
It's just like if you look at the top of her fingers there, it's like sticking into his skull.
Like she's
it's awesome. This is the reason I feel like it was kind of a breather issue, because you had a lot of Rogue dealing with the loss of Johnny Storm.
Right. They all think he's dead, but
they think he's dead. And that's the reason I kind of feel like this fell flat for me, is because we know he's not.
Right.
He's been taken off the playing field. He grabbed. What are they calling them? They're not pyramids.
I was gonna say pyramidians, but I'm actually
pyramidians. Okay, we'll say that.
Sure.
It's a game piece, and you got the lethal Legion, which we didn't hardly see any of until the very end of this.
No, but they're also
Black
all
Order
new characters. So
yeah, which is very cool.
So
cool.
I
dig the Lethal Legion. I'm like, I want to know more.
Captain Glory.
I know, Kree. It's like, and he's Kree, and he's badass, and then the one at the end, Farini or whatever her name is, the one that does what she does at the end. I don't want to spoil it.
Gets super,
like
she gets Supernova, and she gets her good.
I know. I'm like, what did she do to her though? You know, I don't know. I don't know her power set.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just felt like there was a lot of subplot stuff going on, and then you had this battle, which was great.
Solid.
Which kind of saved it for me, to be honest.
Oh, sorry.
And I don't mean save like, oh, it's crap, this book sucked until that. But, you know, like I said, I'm an action guy. And I thought last issue was kind of the breather issue from the main story.
Right.
Because we got the origin of Challenger, which was fantastic.
So good.
And then you kind of got this. And like I said, I felt like it was a little flax. It's a lot of Rogue dealing with the loss of Johnny. And then you've got the Jarvis subline.
Yeah, they're juggling a lot week to week.
They're juggling a lot.
They are.
And trust me, it's not lost on me. I love this book. Like, I am definitely recommending Avengers to everybody I talk to, because it's just been so good every week. And it's still good this week. I gave it a 7. I gave it a 7 this week.
I gave this one an 8.5.
7 is the lowest I've given any of these.
Yeah.
So,
and that's still a very readable, solid comic.
Very readable. You know? Hell yeah.
For me, I may have given it a little extra bump because, you know, Rogue is my gal, you know? And it's putting her in the limelight where she's just plowing through people. Come on.
Yeah.
I got
it. Well, what's cool about this is they're juggling so many people, but every issue, every part of this has kind of it comes from the viewpoint of a certain Avenger. You know what I'm saying? Right. It's been different every week.
Yeah.
Right?
Like Living Lightning's got his bit.
Living Lightning's got his. Quicksilver had one.
Woof. That was...
Human Torch had one. So, yeah. So everybody...
Synapse didn't get one yet, right?
Who?
Synapse, the empathic Inhuman? No, not yet.
Not yet.
She's got one. She's a big player in this. No, she's gonna get one.
She'll get one. I think she will too. But it's a fantastic book, and I love the whole Contest of Champions thing. I love that kind of shit anyway. So I think
they don't do it nearly enough, especially with all this Infinity War stuff going on. But here's just for the people in the audience, another panel: Rogue triumphant over Corvus Glaive. It's just a great pose. Like, but this is the stuff. Like when your favorite character is featured in a book, okay, it makes it that much more of a get for you, even if it's not perfect. And Travis is right. This is, again, they're kind of padding their way to a conclusion. Like, when you read a story, it starts strong, and hopefully it'll end strong. But the middle is always a tough place to keep you interested. And for me, they're still doing it, but I can see how you absolutely feel that they're building and waiting and padding it out.
Yeah.
So I'm with you.
Yeah. Still great. Still fantastic. What are you giving it?
I gave it a, what did I say? Didn't I give it I gave it an 8.5 or an 8?
Okay, an 8.5
or something. Yeah, it's up there. It's definitely in my top percentile.
No, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Want to since we're talking about the Avengers, you want to transfer into Cap now?
Oh, our boy. This my pick of the week. BT Dubs.
It was second. It was second in my picks.
This other Travis's pick of the week I have not read. So I'm really looking forward to what he has to say about it. I haven't read it. I haven't heard about it. I know nothing. I'm going in blind, folks.
Well, we're gonna do Cap, and then we'll finish up because we're running a little long on time. So we'll do Cap, and then I'll do my pick of the week.
All right, man. Lead us off. Let's do it.
Yeah, Cap. This is one of the books I was talking about earlier when we were talking about Panther. I really like it when directors and writers they take chances. And I need to preface this because this story about Cap is another. It's even called Out of Time Part 1. Cap was frozen. He wakes up
again.
Dun, dun. Exactly. Yeah. And it's kind of like, well, this really not taking a chance. They've done this story before.
Right.
And yeah, the Dimension Z was kind of like this too.
Yep.
But and it's funny because this is one of my likes and also one of my dislikes because that can happen. It's my fucking show. I can do what I want.
Yeah.
But I like that they're taking a risk with Cap and they're putting him in this new situation, and it's this creative team of Mark Waid and Chris Samnee.
Yeah.
The whole arc is Cap standing up to injustice, evil, wherever he sees it.
He doesn't like bullies.
Doesn't like bullies. And he's been thawed out of ice. He's in this different world from where he left.
So it's a post-apocalypse like Fallout.
Right.
Like we got people
you've even got some people that are deformed.
You got dog people.
What's that?
You got like a dog person.
Yeah, he's like talking.
Yeah, he's a talking dog man.
What the hell?
People getting branded like a high-class elite of people, like class warfare. Everything is destroyed.
Right.
Everything looks horrible.
And they've taken the name America and they've kind of perverted it.
Yeah.
And you know who's that gonna piss off more than anybody?
Steven
Rogers. Piss off Cap. And that's the wrong guy to piss off. But there's a scene here I have to talk about. And there's a scene where these drones are coming through, and I guess they're taking out the lower class of people, like they're kind of sweeping up the trash, so to speak.
Right.
And Cap sees this boy who's kind of stranded out. He didn't get undercover in time, and the people that have thawed him out are holding him, and this kid is going to die. And Cap's like, let me go. Like, Cap's about to lose his shit.
Oh, yeah. I'm pulling that up.
Doesn't save the kid. And Cap is basically like, you'll never do that to me again. Like, I will break everybody's face in here, but you will not hold me back again.
I'm surprised they could. I mean, he was still weak from the unfreezing, I guess.
Exactly, and they make that point, which I love that because you like they couldn't hold Cap back, but they make the point.
Forget it. He's a one-man army,
right? But they make the point that he is still being, he's still weak from the thawing out. So I like how it doesn't take much to explain something like that, and I like how they do that. But did you pull it up? Did you pull up the image?
I'm getting it in there now.
Okay.
Yeah. So
yeah,
here it is. Here it is for
so
you,
good.
Folks. Yeah, I mean, Samnee is already. I think he's really, genuinely, honestly, truly one of the best guys drawing comics. What he does with shadows and detail and everything from expressions to body language, and in this book, he draws all the sound effects.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, they're all, you can kind of tell, like, if you look at it, it may not be clear right away, but they're pretty clearly, like, hand-done.
Yeah.
They don't have that same polish as if somebody was doing it with, like, a digital font or something like that, which is a cool, old-school, like, Walt Simonson kind of thing.
Yes.
It's
very Jack Kirby-ish to me.
Yeah. The perfect fit for Cap.
What's that?
It's the perfect fit for Cap.
Perfect fit. This whole, like I said, this creative team is, I don't know, maybe one of my favorites other than the Brubaker stuff.
Yeah, Brubaker and Epting were a solid duo for
that was solid.
But Waid and Samnee on Daredevil, everything they do together. Daredevil,
everything they do.
Widow, killing it.
But getting Cap back to the basics with this creative team is just a perfect fit.
Yeah.
And what about this new character? Oh man, what's her name? Liam? No. Lang, Liang.
Give me a hot second. Is that it? Did you?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay,
yeah, I wrote it down.
Yeah, she's cool.
She's cool, and what's different is like she's not your dainty. She's kind of like the de facto leader of this rebellion, this group of rebels, I guess. She's like Jack.
She's a big lady. I was just gonna say.
Yeah, it's like, oh my god, dude, her arms are as big as cats.
You think she might be a super soldier?
I don't know. That could be. We haven't seen her do anything really.
Yeah.
So
she's not very. The funny thing about her character is, and you can kind of understand this, because going into this issue, you think, oh, it's really far in the future. Like Cap himself is like an urban legend or a real piece of history. So she's not very impressed with like what he's pumping out, everything he's talking about.
Right.
Like, oh, to the Bill of Rights, you need it. Like, I can recite it from memory. And she's like, listen, you fuck. Like,
yeah.
What year do you think it is? It's 2025.
Right.
So only 7 years in the future,
right.
Everything has completely gone to hell by the guys that froze him. Which,
right.
They're also like a new team of bad guys. Like, there's your Hydras, your AIM,
right.
your Secret Empire guys. Like all, your thug people. These are Rampart. We've never seen them before, and the first time we saw them, they were a couple of costume thugs shaking down a small Nebraska town.
Yeah.
No big deal at all. But now they're like the regime.
Right.
They nuclear obliterated America. Like, these guys have completely upped the stakes way more than I think Cap even anticipated.
Sure. Yeah. He definitely underestimated them, I think.
Yeah.
There's also a great panel in here too where Cap, I think it's the Bill of Rights conversation that they're having, where he's like kneeling down on the steps of Abe Lincoln's monument is just basically crumbled, and he's got his hand on Lincoln's head, and he's like, everything we fought for. Like, Cap is pretty pissed off, and the last panel is fantastic.
Yeah, let me slide.
Did you pull it up?
Yeah, I got it. I cropped it a little bit so it'll fit, but I also wanted people to be able to read it. Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, I also just love that, like, Cap being Cap. Liang goofs on him a little bit in this because of the whole year thing, but like he like I want to say like unconsciously just strikes that heroic T pose. Like,
I know, yeah, right there in the corner. Yeah.
Like it's almost like he can't resist. Like he's so used to giving like a big old like rousing "let's fucking get him" speech. Troops.
Right.
And here, she's just not she's not buying it. She warms up by the end of the story, because he ends up saving everybody from the drones, and I always like to say it, he goes full clobbering time.
Oh yeah.
He tackles dudes through a wall with the shield, like 10 guys at a time.
Yeah.
Like classic Cap stuff. Like he's back in full form.
Yeah, and it's funny, like you said, Sam Neill, when he's drawing these people, like even in the bottom of this panel here, in the bottom right, you can see Cap's look on his face. Like when she tells him the year, he's like, "What the fuck?"
I can't believe it.
But like you can see these people watching Cap do these heroic things. And it's kind of like you can see the pride building in them. And then the last panels, Cap's like, "We're taking the country back."
Oh, we're doing it. And
yeah.
I'm putting it up right now.
Yeah, that's I was about to say, you got to show that.
If this isn't the most Captain America pose in this book so far, forget
it's classic.
It's like, it's beautiful. It's perfect.
Yeah.
I would love to own the original art of this page. I will probably not be able to afford it forever. But
I had there it is. It looks. I mean, he's just
and a single scratch on him after all that fighting, unbelievable.
He's badass,
he's
dude.
He's the best. That's why he's our boy.
It's our boy. What do you give it?
I'm giving this a 9.5.
I gave it a 9.
This book had me hooked from beginning to end.
They all do.
It's
every since this run has started.
Week. It's such a good week in this run. Yes. Killer.
Yeah, it's one of the best titles on the stands right now. I mean, Vader's great. Doomsday Clock's fantastic.
Look, if we wouldn't be reviewing it on this show if it wasn't worth reading. But there are some like Cap that stand above the rest.
That's right.
Yeah. Wrap
Right,
it up.
man.
Pick of the week time.
Pick of the week.
Let's
Pick
get
of the
some.
week.
Let's get some drum roll action because
Yeah.
I don't know what to expect here. And away. Oh wait. We go.
Lazarus.
X plus 66.
Plus 66, part 6 of 6. Just to give you a little bit of synopsis of the Lazarus Project. This is not the Lazarus Project. This has been kind of a mini-series outside of the main book. The main book has been on break. The main book is fantastic. It is called Lazarus. And I'm not even sure what issue they're on now. Maybe like 10 or 11. But let me give you just a brief synopsis of the world. The world is maybe coming out of like a post-apocalypse where families, not governments, families have risen into power and control sections of the world. Okay? And you have, kind of like in Captain America, you have a class system in place. All right? So you have all these families who have all the power, all the family members, I should say, are in positions of power. And then you have what they call serfs. Okay? Class system, right?
Yeah.
So in with every Lazarus family, they have what they call a Lazarus, which is their champion. And this champion is the super soldier. It is that family's Captain America.
Okay.
They're fast, strong, can heal incredibly. They're super smart tactically. They're super soldier.
In every which way but Cap.
In every which way but Cap. Now there is the Carlisle family. Her name's Forever Carlisle. She is the Cap of this series. She's honest. There's things about the family that she doesn't like, but it's a political. As much as it is an action, it's a political drama. Now this sub series here, this X plus 66. They're 66 years into this war of families. Everything was cool. Then the war broke out. And that's the reason the main book took a hiatus, and it started with this book. And they've been basically self-contained stories. Okay. Now, what makes this my pick of the week, and they've all been okay. It's kind of giving you, it's world building. They're kind of giving you insights to other Lazarus and other families and what's going on behind the scenes. There was a one where some families had spies into another family. That was a pretty good book. So there's a lot of espionage kind of stuff. But this book, this cat right here, he is the most feared Lazarus of all the families. He's got this crazy Russian name. He's from a Russian family, obviously. But his nickname is the Dragon. And
sick.
Yeah, he is a bad motherfucker.
Talk about a guy you don't mess
for
with.
this in this story, this is what I love about this book. It's self-contained. Like you don't have to know anything about anything I just told you. You could go pick this book up, read it, and go, holy fucking shit, I need to know more about this world, about this guy. The dude that is hunting, he's basically called the Hunter. We end up finding his name out later, but he's hunting this guy because this guy murdered his family. He did horrible things to his kids while people watched. Okay, because that's this guy's bag. He's the most feared because of things like this. So this Hunter, who is just a regular soldier, is kind of pretty much on a suicide revenge mission, right? And the way this writer, Greg Rucka, who's a fantastic writer, him just entering the dragon's lair, that's the dragon right there. This is when he finally gets caught. Like he's on this stealth mission, like he's trying to get the drop on the dragon. This scene right here, it just doesn't happen.
Gets bite.
You've got these baby dolls around. And you're like, what's the dragon into? Well, he catches him, right? So what do? They have tea. He tells him, let's sit down and have some tea. And the soldier's like, I basically lost my element of surprise. Yeah. Now, the soldier's still out to kill him, but they're going to have tea. And basically the dragon's like, what's up, man? What, why are you here? And he tells him, he's like, you're a vile monster. You murdered my family. You raped and skinned my children alive while I watched. And the dragon's like, oh, yeah? Yeah, I did do that. I'm a monster. Let me tell you my story. And he goes and he tells this hunter, this soldier, how he became the Lazarus of his family. And it's just fantastic. And the whole time you don't know how this is going to play out. You kind of do, but you really don't. And then like I said, me giving away the end of this book would just be doing you a disservice.
Yeah.
But it's a fantastic ending. It's great from beginning to end. Dialogue's great. The narration is great. You get an origin story of a main player of the Lazarus world. It's just fantastic. I love it. It's brutal. I mean, the dragon story is just fantastic. It's really kind of the first origin story other than Forever that we've gotten of any of the other Lazarus. So if you haven't checked out Lazarus, check it out. I think with the espionage, the action, the art is great. And Greg Rucka, I mean, it's Greg Rucka, man. I mean, he's kind of gotten away from like superhero books.
Yeah.
But this is so right up his alley.
Even when he was doing superhero books.
And what I mean by that is this is obviously set into the future. Technology is controlled by the families. And Lazarus technology, it's like an arms race, basically. Like, who's got the biggest, baddest Lazarus? And you know, the espionage angle and all that. And it's really Rucka. I mean, Rucka just paints this fantastic world. He makes you care about characters. They develop relationships with other people. In Kirkman style, a lot of them don't make it, especially since the war started.
That's what I love about a book that's all on its own. Anybody can die.
Yes. I mean, this is a great book that not a lot of people know about. And I actually had an email. It's been a few months ago when I reviewed one of the books, and the guy was like, "Oh my God, I want to thank you for introducing me to Lazarus. I've never heard about it. I went and bought the trades. I loved it so much I went and bought the originals because, you know, he's a collector like us. So he bought the originals, which I thought was great. And that's kind of like what I want. One of the things I like doing on the show is introducing people to, like Casey said earlier, I took a chance on a book one day, right. And it was Greg Rucka. So my money was pretty safe. You know, I knew I wasn't going to hate it.
Buying based on creators always that's probably the most solid way to hedge your bets.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. So, but yeah, check out Lazarus, man. I gave it a 9.8, which is a real high score for me on this show.
Wow.
Yeah, I gave it a 9.8 just because of the single issue gold that it is. And like I said, I feel like even though I know this world and I know this guy, I feel like anybody that doesn't know this world can read this book and go, fuck, this dude is a fucking monster. Well, guess what? He ain't the only monster in this universe, but he is a big bad. Yeah, he is a big bad. So yeah, check out the whole Lazarus line. The X plus 66 short miniseries. It was 6 issues. They're all, like I said, self-contained, but this is by far the best self-contained story. You gonna check it out, Casey?
You've sold me. You've sold me, not even just on this miniseries, on the main book.
Awesome. I would really like to get your take on it. Jason Jones is in chat.
You gotta give me some time, man. I'm still trying to get through Batman, dude.
Yeah, you gotta get through Batman. yeah, you're reading Tom King's Batman, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're digging it, right?
I'm digging it. I just polished off War, Jokes, and Riddles, so I'm almost there.
Oh, man, how good was War, Jokes, and Riddles?
Storyline, good. Art, not my bag.
Really?
It's the 3D, man. It's fucking lazy, and I hate it.
Yeah,
I can't.
you are a big. You hate that shit, don't you?
Listen, I'm a traditional artist
You
guy.
are.
You know,
You are.
like, look, not taking away from what that guy's doing on that book. It works for the purposes of the story, and to some people, it looks nice. But you know what? Like, people didn't break this industry. Guys like Kirby and Buscema, like back in the '60s, for one day things to have changed. For like, you're just whipping this up with a bunch of 3D models on a computer and putting a little spray paint on it. You know, I'm sure there's more work to it than that, but like, I don't know, man. Like, give me some bombast. Give me something that doesn't look like it's the same hand just posed. Like, there's something about comic book art and like not the mistakes, but like the inaccuracies, the exaggerations that like you can tell when somebody's kind of cheating. You know,
right?
You and I have gone back and forth about LaRocca using that photo reference.
Yeah,
it takes you.
I don't like that.
It takes you right out of the book.
It does.
You know,
but I don't see. I mean, I know that's 3D art too, but it's not the same as what was it Gerald's did on Jokes and Riddles.
That's not the same. But
okay.
But what is the same is you like Mike Deodato a lot. You followed him for a long time.
I like him. I don't like his new stuff as much as I did his early stuff.
And what's the difference? The new stuff, he's using 3D models.
Yeah, you said that, and I knew there was a reason I didn't like him, but I couldn't pick it out.
But you can see it now.
I can see it now.
It's the hands. It's in the hands.
It's in the hands. Yeah, it really is.
It drives me crazy. You know what? Yeah. Like, different strokes for different folks. Sure. Is it a perfectly serviceable story? Absolutely. Is it a great Batman story? You bet. Would it have been better with a traditional artist? Could you have put, a David Finch on this? Could you have put a Capullo on this? You know? Yeah. Would it have been that much better? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. It's all those. I mean, those guys you named. I buy books because
top
of those guys. You know, and what's funny is not to rehash old shit, but when I was talking about the Snyder Capullo panel, Scott Snyder told a great story. Like, Scott Snyder, he really, really wears this stuff on his sleeve, his feelings on his sleeve. When fans don't like stuff, it really, really brings this cat down. And he said there was a time, I believe it was the Bloom storyline, which you're not familiar with, Casey, but it wasn't my favorite of their run, but it was still good. And fans were really picking him apart on it.
I remember one of the covers from one of those really sticks out to me, where he's just like reclining back in the field.
Yes. Yeah. It was a Capullo cover though.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Yeah. That's funny you say that, because Scott called Greg and was like, dude, how do you handle all this negative pressure? How do you, people are like saying I'm the worst Batman writer of all time. I mean, how do you do that?
Whoa.
And Capullo was like, hey, man, how's your wife doing? Because he doesn't get all that. Greg, he starts laughing. He goes, yeah, I don't get that. I don't get the negative feedback, because the artist usually is always good. Like Capullo could be on anything that sucked, but his art's always going to be good, so no one's going to go, God, Capullo, you're terrible. Right. You know what I mean? But that writer, they will rip that fucking writer to death. And so it's kind of like, I get it, but, Tom King has done something to me magical on Batman. And I guess that's the reason his writing has kind of overshadowed the 3D artifact for me. Do you see what I'm saying? Does that make any sense?
No, listen, sometimes it happens, but you know what? At your core, and you and I have both said this, comic books are about the art, man. And if a book is not going to get you with the art, it's probably not going to get you. Yeah,
you're right. There's a few, like I said, you said it a minute ago, we buy books for creators. It's a good way to hedge your bet, like you said.
Right.
If I'm going to take a shot on a new book, it better have Sean Murphy. It better have Jerome Pena, Cyber Beak. It's going to have. It needs to have somebody that I can turn the pages and go, oh man, that's pretty.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, guys, that's my pick of the week. Casey, you wanted to run down some other stuff you thought was worth reading?
There were a couple of cool things this week. there is a new Xena Warrior Princess comic, which not exactly a retelling of like the first episode or whatever, but it follows up right on before her show starts.
Oh, okay, so it's kind of like prequel stuff.
Yeah, like between what we've seen of her in Hercules, where she's like, the leader of the tribe that's robbing people and hustling stuff, and like
that's a cool cover.
Yeah,
I like that cover.
Oh, it's great. That's your boy Finch. His wife's writing it, I think.
Oh, yeah, sure is.
Yeah. So you couldn't tell by the face, though, right?
No.
See, that's what got me too. The body is definitely Finch. The face, I don't know.
Yeah, that
right?
definitely.
It's not a Finch face.
It's not. It's more like a Greg Land face than a Finch face.
Go figure, man. But look, the interiors of this book are also much better, in my opinion. The art is pretty solid. The character expressions on Xena herself and Gabrielle, her erstwhile bard sidekick, if you will, really good. It picks up right after Hercules: The Legendary Journeys, where she's kind of learned to be a better human being and is kind of going to walk the earth, kung fu style, to right wrongs and bring law to the lawless. And it's a good start. It gives you a nice introduction to Xena as a character, some kick-ass fight scenes.
Cool.
Well, it's good stuff. Other than that, I only got one more, and that would be... I have it here. Invincible 144. Now, listen, Travis is a Kirkman guy. I'm half a Kirkman guy, but when I tell you that Invincible is maybe the best month-to-month superhero comic book that ran for the past 15 years, I'm telling you the truth. This book has got it all. It's got vibrant colors. It's got dynamic art. And for those of you, like Travis, looking for a little brutality, a little macho, testosterone-driven carnal, we're talking blood spattered all over the pages. Dismembered limbs, dudes getting their head caved in. This is some seriously extreme superhero stuff. Right. It's not
Brian Otley, right?
Ryan Otley drawing most of this. Starts with Cory Walker. Got Cory Walker on a couple of fill-ins here and there for a while. But I would say like 70% of this book, Ryan Otley, who I didn't know him from anything else, but I'll tell you something, he made himself an A-list must-have guy now that this book is done. I cannot wait to see this guy put on Hulk book. You put this guy in Incredible Hulk, I lose my goddamn mind.
I would like to see him on anything, to be honest.
Yeah, just to see what he can do.
Any superhero. What's that?
Team book or individual?
I feel like his style would be more suited to an individual book. He could do it all, I think.
He really can do it all. He's an ace.
He's an ace. He really is. And I'm like you. I'm really, really excited to see what he does next. I will have it no matter what he does.
Oh, yeah.
Real quick, speaking of books that I didn't review today, and the only reason I didn't was because Diamond, the distributor of a lot of comic shops, shorted the comic book shop the entire run.
Every time.
Old Man Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Old Man Hawkeye was out this week. I do get it. Jason Jones was like, don't be sleeping on Old Man Hawkeye, Travis. Don't make me hear in 6 months that you read it and it was amazing.
Hey, it's got Marco Cicchetto art. You know I'm down.
Yes. Yeah.
Big time.
The first issue I loved. It was fucking loved it. So yes, I am reading that, but I didn't have it this week to review. But I will get it next week, I promise. But Jason Jones also said I would read King's War of Jokes and Riddles in Braille.
All right, relax yourself, man. Let's not lose our goddamn minds over this, okay?
That's awesome.
Come on now.
That's awesome.
Listen,
Casey, man, we're at 7:00.
Yeah, we're done, man.
Dude, thank you so much for being on. I really appreciate it.
It's my sworn duty, as you say.
And also, Casey is not only co-hosting, he's also the man in the chair again. He's been the guy in charge of the OBS presentation. It looks fantastic. He was pulling up the images. So he's been great, guys. Give him a big round of applause on our way out. Casey, anything you want to sign off with?
You can.
Where can we find you at other than Breaking the Panel?
You can find me, well, of course, Breaking the Panel every week, pretty much. You can find me on the Bad Coyote Funky podcast, where this coming Thursday, we'll be talking full spoilers, Black Panther.
Awesome.
By me and guys who probably know next to nothing about him. So the words are going to fly, and I'm super excited about it. Twitch.tv/BadCoyoteFunky. 10 o'clock we go live, and we're probably going to go right into it. I think we're talking about something else too, but I can't remember what it is. So
10 o'clock, what day, Casey? What was that? What day was that again?
Thursday night.
Thursday night.
Yeah. Oh, I'll let you know.
Yeah, let me know, because I'm curious. I always like the opinions of guys that don't know comic books, because that's like I say, the middle class is the cog in the wheel that drives the machine. Those people are the cog that drives the movie industry, because you can't make movies for just guys like us. They wouldn't do what they do. They wouldn't be billion-dollar franchises. But you need to make us happy too. So it's a very thin line, and I'm always curious to see what people think that don't know about the comic book versions.
Right.
I'm always curious of their opinion. So, yeah, I definitely I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah, man. It's a good romp. It's five guys talking about geeky stuff week to week. This past week and stuff.
What's not love?
Well, yeah, right. We talked Altered Carbon. We've talked Monster Hunter in the past. We did Happy, that show on Sci-Fi. That's based on a comic. So
fantastic.
We cover a little bit of everything. You never know what's coming up next. So so feel free to tune in. And we're a live show. So you want to see goof ups, us cussing each other out, giving rude hand gestures, that's the show for you.
And Twitch has a live chat as well, right?
Oh yeah, we get a little crowd in there, but they're a rowdy, just like the Blaze Nation, man. They're a rowdy bunch of boys.
Good deal. Well, guys, all I have is I'm gonna do my Black Panther imitation from the movie today. No, I'm just kidding. But I always try to end on something positive, and I also want to say, I meant to say this in the beginning. I feel bad now. I forgot about it. But my heart goes out to the victims of the school shooting that we just had. It was awful, horrible stuff, and it's happening too frequently. I don't know what the answer is. I'm not trying to get all political, but what I will say is kind of like the Black Panther was saying today. We all are different in our own way, but what makes us we have more than what makes us the same than what makes us different, and we've got to watch out for each other. And if you just treat everybody like you want to be treated, the world's going to be a much better place. And I fully believe that. And we've got to love each other, and we've got to get rid of all this negativity and all the violence. Have your violence in comic books like Invincible. But not in your real life. But other than that, guys, check me out on iTunes. Please visit the Patreon. I'm really excited about it because it's going to give me a chance to do some more content that I've been wanting to do. But
why don't you give them a quick straight up rundown
of what?
Of the Patreon, like box by box.
I mean, there's some rewards where I'll give you a shout out, of course. Which that's whatever. I do that anyway. If you join in the chat, I'm just like, hey, Frederick Debo's in the house, So, but if you're a Patreon, you're going to get exclusive content from me. I'm going to give you, like today, I did a video where I came out of Black Panther. That's going to be a Patreon reward. Where as soon as I see a movie, maybe not just a comic book movie, maybe I went and seen Den of Thieves, and I will send you a video of what I thought about Den of Thieves. Like a book that I may have read, like maybe online that I didn't buy, I'm going to send you a review strictly on that comic book. Maybe it's my pick of the week. I give you early access to my picks of the week, the day that I read them, the moment that I read them. I reach out to all my Patreons that have subscribed to that level, and you're going to get that. This was from the guys from Botched. It's called Gym Thoughts with Travis, and I have been wanting to do something like this for a long time, but I see some stupid shit in the gym. I'm taking some videos of some stupid shit in the gym, and I'm going to be kind of giving you my commentary on things. And that is a big part of what I do. I train every day. I try to eat right. I try to educate myself on different training philosophies and different diets, different meal plans. So, there'll be some of that in there. But the Jim Thoughts with Travis is like one of the things I'm really excited about. But there's also a level to where you tell me what comic you want me to get. I read it and I give you a review. Now that's special stuff, and it's probably going to be a part on the show. It's going to be a Patreon reward that I'm actually going to do live on the show, but you will get first access to it. And then we're going to have the Discord, which I wasn't even really, I didn't even know what Discord was. Discord is going to be a chat group just like this, just like we had during the show, but all the time. So you want to hit me up, you tag me. I'm going to get a notification on my phone, and we can talk comic books. We can talk movies. We can talk about whatever you want to talk about. So that's going to be an exclusive. You're going to have exclusive access to me through our Discord and all the other listeners of the show, viewers of the show. So, and we get some really good chats going too. So we had a lot of comic books today, and sometimes when I have a smaller stack, I can kind of focus on the chat a little more. But yeah, Discord, I'm really excited about all of it, man. Shit, I can't lie. So but check out the Patreon. It's www.patreon.com/blazingdefender.
I got it right there on the screen.
Look at you.
Man in the chair.
The man in the chair. Everybody needs a man in the chair, man. But guys, check that out. I really appreciate it. Always appreciate everybody joining in. And Casey, thank you, sir. And with that, we're out. Peace.